Welcome to Olives of Wholeness. In this channel, we help you heal from all forms of emotional wound. We hope you are inspired by this video to do better. Kindly like, comment, and subscribe. Let's grow together. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately you have that feeling of, what if these people don't like me? What if I'm not what they are looking for? What if I'm not good enough? Or you have this extreme emotion of not being chosen, not being accepted, not being taken, expressing your concern and being undermined or underrated, and whatnot. And somewhere along the line, we call it insecurity. I came to realize that every experience we have in life leaves us with either a good emotion or a negative emotion. Most times, the negative emotions don't have effect on us immediately. The effect comes years later, some of us in our adulthood. And in this month, we'll be addressing the topic of rejection. Handling rejection, where does it come from? How to address it, how to identify it, some signs and symptoms that we are displaying as adults that reflect we are struggling with feeling unwanted or feeling rejected, or we are being self-defensive because we don't want to feel that way. All that good stuff, we are handling it in the next couple of weeks by the grace of God. Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Faithful and I am on a journey to help people heal emotionally. Our focus is simple, true faith-led conversations, honesty, and just intentionally growing together. I'm not an expert in emotional healing. I am just someone who God has helped. And Olives of Wholeness was created from that angle because I know God healed me from so much bitterness, so much resentment, so much low self-esteem, so much, name it, anything that has to do with identity crisis. They were all in my eyes. But I saw God heal me from all of them. And that will be the core of our teaching today. It's not just about helping you solve a problem. It's about knowing where did it come from. Where did it come from? Now, what is rejection? Rejection is that state of mind where you feel unvalued, unwanted, unloved, unaccepted, not good enough. Everything that makes you just feel like shrinking because you feel the version of you that has showed up may not be worthy of the environment you are in or the people you are with. It all just flows out as under the umbrella of rejection. But the feeling of rejection is not what we just wake up as adults and start experiencing. The truth is, I came to realize that rejection is not something that just happened to us as adults. It flows back from when we were children, and it can be established or it can be planted as a seed through diverse experiences or through diverse daily occurrences that maybe our parents didn't see as anything. They didn't count it as a big deal. But now as an adult, you are struggling because those seeds have already been planted in our hearts as children. And number one foundation of it is constant comparison. Constant comparison. Maybe parents of nowadays are getting wiser in that direction, but 20 years ago, 15 years ago, plus or minus 30 years ago, most parents did not understand the concept of each child having their own unique personality, each child having their own pressing, their traits, their likes and dislikes, their learning style. My God, this is the biggest loophole. Everybody learns in a different way. Some learn by audio, like they have to hear someone say the thing, explain it. Some learn by visuals, that's pictures. Some learn by activities, very playful. So you can see a child who is extremely playful and then has a sibling who would rather just sit in the corner and read all day, all night. What most parents did in the past was, mostly in the area of academics, compare child A to child B, and there is that unexpressed frustration in the heart of that child, feeling like, who I am, why can't nobody see who I am? Why are you not seeing me for me? Why are you not accepting the me that I am, instead of wanting to make me become like my brother or like my sister? That, oh, why are you not gentle like him? Or why are you not as intelligent as him? Why can't you be so composed like him? Why are you always scattered? Some parents thought they were actively parenting the child, but there is a way you can encourage someone to emulate healthy quality from another child without presenting it in a comparative manner or in a way of this you is not good, copy this person, become this person. Whether we like it or yes, such tiny simple experiences plants that place of you are not good enough. I need you to become something else. I need you to become someone else. It plants it in our hearts. Number 2 is constant conflict in the home. Most homes, most parents, when they are having issues among themselves, so you can hear careless statements like, do you think I'll still be here if not for the children? Do you think I want to be with you if not for this? So there's that place of, I am the reason why these two people are always fighting. If I wasn't in the picture, they would have gone their separate ways. Life would have been better for her or for him. In the mind of a child, they don't interpret that conflict you and your wife are having as just conflict. They interpret it to mean they are the bad ones. The brain has not matured enough to process things, to understand that my parents have their faults, they have their whatever, they are dealing with their own stuff. It has nothing to do with me. Every young child personalizes every experience that happens to them, where they feel like, I wish I can make it better. The best way most children learn is by mimicking. And whatever you are doing in their face, they would mimic it. So when what you are doing is not then settling in with their brain, they will see themselves as the problem, and that constant quarrel, constant disagreement, it subtly plants that seed of, maybe I'm not welcome there. Maybe I am not accepted. For some as well, maybe the parents were expecting a particular sex and they got the one they've had, let's say 4 boys, and they are looking for a female child, and then boom, the 5th child comes. It is a boy again. The excitement of receiving that child, if the parents are not mature, may not be there. And if it's not there, so certain preparation, the child's 1 year old is not celebrated with so much enthusiasm. Do you get? There's that place of people passing down things to that child. They may not get new things for themselves because, oh, somebody's ahead of you who is the same sex as you. You can use the person's name. It's gradually planting the seed of, maybe I'm not that valuable. Maybe I'm not that special. Maybe I'm not that important. It looks simple, yeah, in the beginning, but as we grow older, this is planting a seed that will speak in the future as an individual struggling with rejection. Another reason, I think this is number 3 now, is abandonment. Oh, the place of a child feeling abandoned. It's a two-way coin. Absolute abandonment, where the parents are not available, is there, where maybe because of divorce, because of separation, because of constant conflict, both people decide to go their separate way. And the way the child will process it is, daddy left because I am the reason. Mommy left because they don't want me. If they love me, if they accept me, if they value me, they would stay. That's personalizing that separation or divorce can make the child feel like, I don't think I am welcome there. I don't think this is for me. The other side is, every home will go through seasons. Every marriage will go through seasons. And sometimes there may be that place where a father or a mother needs to work more harder. Does it make sense? Where they need to work more to provide for the home. The child wants a parent that will play with them because their friends have fathers and mothers that are playing with them. The child wants a present father, a present mother. But when that is not available, it can be interpreted as, maybe I'm not worthy of their time. Maybe I'm not needed. Maybe I'm not accepted. That's part of abandonment or feeling neglected. Bully can still be under this umbrella, and this comes in a place of school system where a child is bullied for maybe for being too intelligent. Some have been bullied because they are too intelligent. What is it? Why are you feeling like, who are you? Some have been bullied because they are too tall. I know I had that. I was extremely bullied because I was the tallest in my class. So constant talking about my height, I felt like, oh my God, what is this? Because nobody around me carried such futures. Some have been bullied because they are not physically looking as gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous as everybody perceives people to be beautiful. But beauty comes in different concepts. Some have been bullied because of their dentitions. Some have been bullied because of maybe a scar on them, whatever. And when the child comes back home and reports such incidents, the way it is handled at home, or even handled by the teacher in the class, or handled by the school authority, will sometimes make the child feel valued or unvalued, accepted or not accepted, appreciated, seen, welcomed. I'm just using different adjectives to connote the deep meaning of that sense of I belong here, I am wanted here, I am seen. The minute that is absent, it is planting that seed. So you see, the feeling of what if they don't like me that some of us feel as adults is not starting from when you were 25 or when you were 26 or when you are 35. It was planted somewhere. These are some of the root causes, mostly from childhood phase, of when we start having little seed of what if, what if, what if. And there's that gradual identity reshaping where your perception of who you are is gradually being shaped by society, by culture, by environment, by the way you were raised, by life experiences. Okay? So now let's look at what are some of the ways you may currently look at yourself and may look like, how do I know that maybe I am struggling with feeling rejected? There are some attitudes we put out that may not genuinely show that we are struggling with feeling rejected, but sincerely they are there. They are just so over. They are just under the carpet. They are so hidden that when you then look deep, you realize, oh, this is true. This is really happening. I wrote them down, so let me list it out. Number one that I wrote here is you are constantly seeking approval, because you just want to be sure that this person would accept me, this person will take me for who I am. Number two, you avoid vulnerability because you feel, if I am open to this person, will they love me as me? Will they take me as me? Number three is people pleasing to avoid conflict, because maybe you've been shut down over and over and over and again as a child in certain environments. You just say okay to everything. And funny enough, it's not even in childhood. We can be adults and have such experiences and go into the state of, let me just say okay for peace to reign. I also wrote here that you become easily devastated by criticism. Somebody gives, there's something I call constructive criticism. None of us are perfect. People should be able to come back and give you genuine feedback about what you're doing, that they think that this can be better. But sometimes you don't. Okay, I think I'll put it this way. The truth is, you don't have control over how that person will give the criticism, but you have control over how you receive it. But many a times we have not matured to that point of receiving criticism from people with a growth mindset, with a mindset of, okay, this thing that this person have said, which part of it is true? Which part of it is a lie? What can I take? Where do I move forward? Get it? The next thing I wrote here is, we withdraw before others reject us. You see this one? I struggled a lot with it. Oh my God, I struggled a lot with it. Let me share a quick story. Growing up, I grew up as an only child. For more than 16 years, I was an only child. And I would always just want to be around people. I think this is so funny thinking about it now. I had my criteria for wanting to be your friend then is you have to have plenty siblings. I don't know where I got that narrative from, but I just desire that place of when you have plenty siblings, I will know that I don't want where you are an only child, me I'm an only child, we are on the same boat. No, very foolish reason. Thinking about it now, do you know I said no to someone asking me out because he was an only child as well? I'm like, you are only me, I'm for what? That's so childish. If I can see him right now, I would apologize. But okay, back to the story. And there's this family, I always go to their house. Amazing. They were like, I call them cousins actually. And we're always together playing. If I'm not at home, you will see me in their house. Weekends, I'm in their house. And there was a day we were all watching a movie. And all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, I'm the only one in the living room. Where is everybody? So I stood up, walked into the corridor of the house, and I started hearing whispers from a room. And something just said, put your ear. So I eavesdropped, and I heard where their mother was telling them that, oh, make sure you don't tell Gubemi what I just told you. So Gubemi is my native name. I'm from Nigeria, the southern part of Nigeria. I said, don't tell Gubemi this thing I've just told you. You know she's not your sister. Voila. And I was like, okay. Me, I thought I was family here. I didn't know family is extremely defined by blood. I thought I was accepted here. What I did not know was that dented me in a way that I did not understand. But after that experience, I think it was when I started healing that I realized, my God, that indeed a lot to me. But I tell you the truth, after that experience, oh my God, I don't give you room to walk away from my life. It was after I've healed that I started realizing that, oh, I just pull away, I just this. Because that statement made it look like no matter how close you are to people, they will always see you as an outsider. It was I'm talking years later, more than 10 years later, that I reflected, because when I was healing, I realized I was struggling with feeling rejected, feeling unwanted, feeling unloved. I reflected and I was like, this is one experience that is, I think, is leading to this feeling. Okay? You fear being misunderstood. That's another point, another reason why that will just make you realize that, am I struggling with feeling rejected? You fear being misunderstood. You fear, I don't want this person to think of me in this light. So you are not bold to express yourself. You see where this will play out there is mostly in your work environment. You would not be bold to share your beautiful ideas because I don't want them to think this way of me. I don't want them to misunderstand me. So you have amazing ideas, you keep it to yourself, or you share it with someone behind the scene and that person paraphrases it and reorganize it, repackage it and present it to the boss. And then you are angry, you are sad because you feel like they've stolen your idea. But fear of being misunderstood because you don't want to, when they say no, you feel rejected is there. I think that will take me to the next point. Fear of receiving no from people, not knowing how to receive no from people and not knowing how to give no to people. Those two things, I can do an entire video on mastering how to say no and how to receive no. No is just a full sentence as far as I'm concerned. You have to learn how to accept it as an answer without feeling attacked, and also learn how to say it to people without feeling that needed compulsion to extremely explain why you are saying no. No, I can't do it right now. Can I do it in 6 hours time? Oh no, that's not comfortable for my schedule. Can we do it tomorrow? And that is it. That is simple as ABC. Make sense? Now, one of the things that one of the mindset, the key mindset as we dive into handling rejection, the signs and symptoms and everything that has to do with rejection is for you to understand that it was an event, not your life. It was an event, not your life. Let me explain. Most times, we struggle with the feeling of, oh, this thing happened and now this is who I am. We embodied, we embrace the identity. Say a relationship failed, a job, you did an interview, you've done interview like 15 times and nobody's calling you for a job. You've had like 10 failed relationship. The way your brain processes it and receives the conclusion of it will determine how the outcome will be. What we do most times is we conclude to say, I am rejected, instead of saying, I failed at this thing, or I currently feel like I'm experiencing rejection in this area. What do I need to do? The minute you put that, what can I do? You have empowered yourself again. You have empowered yourself again. And we also need to understand that every experience tells a story. And that story, when it is repeated over and over and over, is like writing a thesis or dissertation. Repetitive occurrence of that thing is proving a pattern. And when a pattern is proved, an identity is created. And before you know it, it starts reflecting in your adult life. So we've come from the roots, which is childhood. We've talked about some of the ways you will realize that maybe I'm struggling with the fear or the consciousness of for me not to be rejected. And now we are looking at what areas of our lives do they reflect. I also wrote that down, so I'll read it to you. It doesn't end in your childhood. It travels with you into adulthood. So it can reflect in your marriage. You may not speak boldly. Before marriage even, some persons may never say yes to certain guys because they feel, I don't feel qualified to date this person. Maybe because they've had an experience of a guy who is in that social class or social status saying no to them in the past. So there's that place of, I don't feel qualified for this. Or a guy can feel completely unqualified to approach a lady who, in quotes, looks settled in her current state of life and feel like, the last time I asked the lady that is settled out, I know what my eyes saw. No, I'm not going. The funny part is, even in our relationship with God, it happens. So before we get to the place of knowing God, building relationship with God, loving God, our parents are the first people that we experience love from. And when a child has experienced that place of, I don't feel completely loved and accepted here, I have to prove myself here, I have to show that I am worthy, I have to show that I am deserving of this love, we genuinely move that mindset to God, where we feel like, oh, I think God is angry with me. So some of us can even spend 5 years praying about a sin we committed or an action that happened 5 years ago, and God is like, I've forgiven you. Because of the way you've related with your earthly parents, it can transfer into your relationship with God in that manner. Another way is, as adults, we don't come as our full self. So every environment has a different version of you. But that's not the best. A healed, wholesome you should be the same person, whether in the place of work, whether at church, in your family, with friends. You should be the same person. Of course, the expressions may be different, but the kind you should be the kind you at work, should be the kind you in church, should be the kind you in your family. But where we've experienced trauma in certain areas, or abuse or neglect in certain areas, and we hold back. So when you are in such environment, your brain replays the scenario and be like, I've seen this before, I've been here before, I am going to be very careful. Nobody is going to throw me out of the window because I've had that experience before. So with all I've explained so far, you may have identified to see that, oh, I think I'm seeing some of these traits in my life, or I know somebody who is displaying some of these traits. It's not to crucify you or to condemn you. That's why we are bringing it to the light and giving solution to it. But before we even jump into solution, maybe this will give you more peace. Did you know even Jesus Christ was rejected? Oh my God, he was. Religious leaders could not understand his ways because his ways were absolutely different from what they've known. His family rejected him. His own community rejected him. The Bible says he could not do many miracles in Nazareth because of their unbelief. What is unbelief? When imagine you have so much talent, you have so much ability, and somebody is there looking at you like, what is it? Who are you? You that I wore pampers for which day? Excuse me, Joe. That's the same case. That's the same thing. These may be people that Jesus Christ grew up with, and to them, they saw only the version of him as a captain's son, the boy that was running around playing. They are not seeing him now as an adult who is flowing in their God-given talent. So that connects us to that. Imagine if Jesus Christ does not truly know his identity, he would have still struggled with, oh, why are you people not seeing me? Can't you see what I carry? Can't you see the virtue in me? Allow me do something. But no, they said no to him. So if you are beginning to pick any of this, I need you to understand that it was just an experience. That door that closed, that relationship that ended, opportunities that you did not get, they were all an experience. They don't define you. So the place of you are not good enough, you are not worthy, you are not chosen, you are not seen, you are not important, you are not accepted. They are all lies that we have believed, the enemy has made us believe, society has made us believe, that may cripple you, that may keep you stuck for so long as a person without fully maximizing your capacity. So please, as we journey into this month, you are already, even hearing this information is already creating liberation in your heart to know that that was an experience. It's not the summary of my life. With that statement alone, my God, you're already dismantling things. You're already breaking off the shackles of the lies of you are not good enough. So, to conclude this, if you have walked through life over the last couple years, we've highlighted some of the root cause of the intense feeling of unwanted, feeling unloved, feeling unaccepted, feeling not a part of the A game. It has all been addressed. And if maybe you've been struggling with feeling insecure, feeling not yourself, what if that is not actually the problem? What if the problem is you are struggling with feeling rejected? And also, the good news is God does not see you from that light. It doesn't see you from that light. And I pray that as we go through the next couple of weeks, talking about how to come out from feeling rejected, identifying some of the emotions and the effect it has on us, I pray that healing will begin to manifest itself in your heart. These are some of the ways we heal. When you look at the problem, you tell the truth about the problem, and you begin to rewrite the narrative. And before I go, let me leave you with an assignment and a tool that will help you. Number one, sit down with yourself and ask, have I had an experience in the past where I felt unwanted, unlistened to, where I felt this feels so painful? I feel like I was rejected here. For a young teenager, as a guy, your crush said no to you. That can be a sense of deep rejection without you knowing, and you made up your mind that, oh, I had a crush on one girl and she said no to me, or she chose someone else. I will not be open to one girl alone. I will be everywhere. That can be the foundation of why you are still struggling with jumping from one woman to another. Does it make sense? Think back deeply. Sit down with yourself this week. Have I had any experience that has led to me thinking in this direction, or that has made me feel this way? Feel, no, you didn't listen to me. You don't understand me. You can't hear me. Have I had any of such experience? Write it down. Replay the scenario, not from a place of pain, but from a place of, what is the lie in this story? What is the lie in this story? And the tool I would then give to you is just sincerely, Lord, heal my heart. Lord, heal my heart. Pray for your heart. Lord, heal my heart. Call the emotion by its name. Lord, I am struggling with insecurity. I'm struggling with rejection. I'm struggling, whatever it is, because we'll address so many negative emotions in this channel. But the simple prayer of, Lord Jesus, heal my heart. Now that we are dealing with rejection, Father, deliver me from the place of feeling unwanted. I know I am loved by you. I know I don't need to perform to be seen by God. I know the experiences of my childhood does not define my adulthood. So heal my heart. Change the narrative. We'll give you more tools, but this, it's the ultimate. This is the ultimate. Every other explanation that I am going to give, or the team would give in this channel, trust me, they are all tools. But the Holy Spirit can do a quick work that will be so shocking to you. And it comes from a place of sincerely desiring that place of, Lord Jesus, heal my heart. Heal my heart. Deliver my heart from the feeling of rejection. Deliver me from the place of feeling unwanted. Deliver me from the place of feeling unloved. Count it, list it. And I pray that as you do it, you will truly experience peace that passes all human understanding. In Jesus' name. Thank you for joining us. Please do well to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now. We hope you are blessed by the video you've just watched. Please do well to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. And turn on your notification bell so you are alerted when we put up our next video. Bye.